Paramashivam. Om Nityananda Paramashivam. Om Nityananda Paramashivam.
Tattvam Gurum Tam Nama Nityananda temple today to receive the Gaja leading the procession down to Gastas before the procession and raise the deity. We welcome to very door. Bless, shower us with traditional items to Mahaganapati. All Om Ganapate Namaha. Om Gam Ganapate Namaha. Pray Mahaganapati. We welcome Mahaganapati. The premises at before the meeting, seeing for the procession in the morning of this full day in the Aavani Tiruvizha Brahmotsavam. Yes, the Aavani Tiruvizha Brahmotsavam celebrates the coronation of Somasundareswara as the king, as the Sundara Rajapandian of Madurai, and we have now the darshan of offered to him as the grand Shanghol coming in the right before we are seeing Meenakshi Sundareshwara. So we received Hala Hala Sundarar. We offered him our and flowers. He Paramashivam, the form of Sundareshwara himself, is coming as an Archavatar. We receive him with all of our devotion and love and gratitude. He's come to our very home in front of Kailasa Madurai, and we are honoring him with all of our love and devotion with flower garlands and of course the arati. Om Tanmaheshaya Vidmahe Vagbhishuddhaya Dhimahi Tanna Shiva Prachodayat. We bow down to him and pray to have all the auspicious blessings from this beautiful celebrations. It is such a joy and an honor to have him in our lives, and he is Paramashiva, beautifully living among us as Somasundareshwara. Sundareshwara is a most magnificent and handsome form of Paramashiva who came and did so many leelas in the Madurai Samrajyam, and today also we are celebrating one of the most magnificent leelas done by Sundareshwara to liberate a bird, a stork bird. We'll get to know about that in a few minutes, but now we are receiving the darshan of Meenakshi Devi herself. This is the Nijavatara. The Nijavatara of the Meenakshi Devi, who was there in flesh and blood, is the same as the Archavatara, who is now coming in the golden Sapparam, in the golden Mandapam, and she is gracing us. We offer to her our devotion and love. She is the Angayar Kanni, the goddess, mother of all of us in Madurai and to the whole universe itself. We bow down to her, offer her our devotion and gratitude and arati. Yes, after the darshan of Devi Meenakshi, Chandigeshwara Swami, we offer him our worship, and our Chandigeshwara Swami follows after Meenakshi Devi beautifully in the morning of this Aavani Tiruvizha Brahmotsavam. The Panchamurti have graced in front of the Kailasa Madurai, where we are offering continuous annadhanam and services. He is and offerings to public and the devotees of Somasundareshwara and Meenakshi. Of course, it is always said that whenever the festival or whenever the deities come to the temple, the deities, we can also see that these are the vahanas also that the deities will be returning on. So they will go in the morning, go to the other temple. It is like beautiful, such a way that Sundareshwara lives. There are so many other deities around. And of course, at the end of today's session, we offer our to our beloved Bhagavan, greet and celebrate his life, his presence in our life. Om Hamsa Hamsaya Vidmahe Hamsaya Dhimahi Tanno Hamsa Prachodayat. Karpuraghoram Karunavataram Samsarasaram Bhijagendraharam Sada Vasantam Hridayaravidhe Bhavani Saidam Namami Bhavani Namami Bhavam Bhavani Saidam Namami. We offer our gratitude to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism for reviving this magnificent Kailasa under the Shyamala Pita Sarvagni Pita, where we are able to celebrate all of the rich traditions of Sanatana Hindu Dharma, especially during this Aavani Tiruvizha Brahmotsavam. This magnificent Aavani Tiruvizha Brahmotsavam celebrates the coronation of Paramashiva himself coming and ruling as a king. Yes, many may not know that Mahadeva, who's there, who's always in the Puranic stories, is understood as a person who lives outside the society. But in the Tiruvilayadal, he comes and rules the kingdom of the Madurai Samrajyam, of the Pandya Samrajyam, and rules as the king known as Sundara Raja Pandyan. And he plays so many leelas. Of course, he is not just to rule a kingdom as a king, but he is there to give the liberation and the possibility of Paramashivoham, of Paramashivatva to everyone who comes. And that is the magnificence of the Sundareshwara's incarnation. He comes and comes down to our home, just like how he has come to our home in Kailasa Madurai right now and blessed us and graced us. In that same intimate way, the Tiruvilayadal gives so many beautiful stories of how he himself came and liberated various beings and people. So today is the Leela of known as the liberation of the small stork bird. So this bird was this is a beautiful story, even if you can see how the very ambience of the Madurai Meenakshi, or an enlightened civilization, can give people and bring people immediately out of their lower level tendencies and experience oneness with Paramashiva and deep devotion and bhakti. This is a beautiful story. Let us take a look at today's Leelas. Get ready for the offering of the Laghu Puja in the Adi Kailas temple. So we are getting to know that there was a stork, a bird, which once lived in the village in the southern part of the Pandyan kingdom, and it was dependent on a pond for its food, where there was plenty of fish. And at the time of observation of the stork approached, the pond got dried up, and the stork started hungry, and the pond, and it started searching for food. Says it's seeking. It was searching for food, and there was a pond surrounded, and then after some time it found another pond. There was a pond surrounded by thick vegetation, and the pond itself was very large, and it was full of fresh water, and it was a place to stay for several hermits. Yes, the Shivanadiyars, or the ones who very much represent and live, hermits are just the sadhus who are Paramashiva himself. Every time we connect with a sadhu in Hinduism, we always see him as a manifestation of Paramashiva, who comes as, lives as the Bholinath, as Mahadeva. So in the same way, how this pond was a residence of the hermits, of the Shivanariyas, the sadhu. Stork was very happy to stay there. It was very happy to find there. It can live in another place again. As it watched, it also saw that the hermits got into the water to take a bath in the pond, and every time they take a dip. See, whenever we they take a bath in the traditional Hindu way, we take a dip going into the water, out. They store notice fish would be as fish jump out of the hermits. A stork thought that because would be touching the bodies of those who are Mahadeva himself, who are Paramashiva himself, these hermits, it the fish very sacred. Suddenly it had a different sense of understanding, because it came to a beautiful ambience. It learned that this ambience is having the presence of those who are sacred, who are representatives of Mahadeva, and she felt very that the fish that was jumping off the body of the hermits sacred. This is a new experience for any stork. So it had a feeling that something is sacred in its life, and it was considered that those fish are sacred, and it also, the stork decided to not eat them. And after they took the bath, sat on the banks and read and heard the passages of the Kudal Puranam, which is a portion of this Tiruvilayadal Puranam, and it is in this Puranam where the hermits used to sing the praise of the of Sukhanadar, Sundareshwara Swami, of course, the city of the Madurai and the pond, all of this by the hermits, and all of this the stork heard and just thought a purpose in life again, or it just awakened to the urge to see Somasundareshwara. And as the story goes, it had the and its heart literally swelled and in love with Sundareshwara, and it decided to go to Madurai and worship him. When it came to Madurai, the Madurai temple, it took a bath in the golden lotus pond and worshipped the Lord Somasundareshwara there. But it actually followed this ritual daily for days. It would come every day, take a bath in the lotus pond and worship Somasundareshwara. The next day, when it came to the lotus pond, hungry, and it was seeing the fish on it, and the thought crossed its mind to catch them and eat. But at the very moment, it felt very ashamed of its thought. It considered it to be improper to eat the fish of the sacred pond, and decided to remain hungry rather. Feel that our existence, our bodily needs and our mind is something that we feel we don't need. We want to be relieved from, because we want to be finding ourselves in a space of deeper devotion. We want to be have a matured conversation with ourselves, rather than having to go behind the smaller desires in our life. We desire to have Paramashiva, liberation from having to need these things. In the same way, the stork had a need to come out of eating fish, or eating the non-vegetarian food, or eating the fish that are inside the pond of the sacred pond. It had a feeling of not having to do this. It wanted to overcome all of this. That had that deep desire, and it was just remaining hungry in that way. At that moment, Somasundareshwara appeared as the form in which the stork was praying, and he asked, and he came, and then the stork worshipped him several times and said many times that it should get a place in Shivalokam, in the space of Kailasa, oneness with Paramashiva. So it asks, please relieve me from this and grant me a place in Shivalokam. So she's asking that leave me from this hunger, this suffering, and let me have a place in Shivalokam. The stork asks for a boon, and it says that the lotus pond should be devoid of any fish, so other birds of its race and other races might never eat the fish from the pond, as it would be a great sin. Yes, so it requested that no fish should be there in the lotus pond of the Madurai Meenakshi temple, so that no animal will come or no bird should come and eat it and incur grave sin of the desires, again and again falling. The sanctity of the temple should be maintained such that only the beautiful environment of seeking Somasundareshwara, seeking Meenakshi Devi's darshan is the very focus of that space. So that way the stork wanted a boon, and the stork was elevated to Shivalokam, and the golden lotus pond also became devoid of any fish. And this is the story of the stork that got liberation from Somasundareshwara. And in this way, Paramashiva manifested again and again and did all these leelas to give the devotion to and the liberation to all beings. So today, celebrating this very leela, we now offer in the Adi Kailasa temple the worship to the Nityanandeshwara Paramashiva Somasundareshwara Swami, Nityanandeshwari Paramashiva Shakti Meenakshi Devi, the Utsava Vigraha of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Mahaganapati, Shri Subramanya Swami, and Shri Chandikeshwara Swami. Let us now offer our devotion at the divine lotus feet of Somasundareshwara and Meenakshi. Om Nityanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrusham Tattvamasyaadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami Nityanandeshwara Paramashiva Samarambham Nityanandeshwari Paramashiva Shakti Madhyamam Nityananda Pariyantam Vande Guru Paramparam Lalathe Tripundri Nitila Dhrita Kasturi Tilakaha Spuranmaladhara Spurita Gadigopina Vasanaha Tadano Dushtaram Chirshibhanirajam Shishikalam Pradeepas Sarvesham Arunagiri Yogi Vijayate Atha Dupaha. Om Dashangam Gugulobedam Sugandham Shizamanoharam Agreyas Sarvadevanam Dhupoyam Ridigrishnam Shri Nityanandeshwari Paramashiva Shakti Meenakshi Ambika Sameta Shri Nityanandeshwara Paramashiva Somasundareshwara Swami Ne Namaha Sarvadeva Devi Srupaya Bhakate Shri Nityananda Paramashiva Namaha Dupamagrapayami Om Sajyam Trivaddi Samyuktam Vanhina Yojitam Maya Mangalam Deepam Trailokyatimirapaham Shri Nityanandeshwari Paramashiva Shakti Meenakshi Ambika Sameta Shri Nityanandeshwara Paramashiva Somasundareshwara Swami Ne Namaha Shri Sarvadeva Devi Srupaya Bhagavate Shri Nityananda Paramashivaya Namaha Deepam Sandarshayami Thanaivedyam Om Vam Amrade Amridodbhave Amridvarshini Amridam Shravaya Shravaya Swaha Shri Nityanandeshwari Paramashiva Shakti Meenakshi Ambika Sameta Shri Nityanandeshwara Paramashiva Somasundareshwara Swami Ne Namaha Shri Sarvadeva Devi Surupaya Bhagate Shri Nityananda Paramashivaya Namaha Amritam Mahanaivedyam Nivedayami Nivedyanantaramachunam Samarpayami. Nirajanam Om Tanmaheshaya Vidmahe Vagvishuddhaya Dhimahi Tanna Shiva Prachodayad Om Ganambikaye Vidmahe Matapaye Dhimahi Tanno Gauri Prachodayad Om Hamsa Hamsaya Vidmahe Varamahamsaya Dhimahi Tanno Hamsa Prachodayad. Nityanandeshwari Paramashiva Shakti Meenakshi Ambika Shri Nityanandeshwari Paramashiva Somasundareshwara Swami Ne Namaha Sarvadeva Devi Swarupaya Bhagavate Shri Nityananda Paramashivaya Namaha कर्पूरनीराजनं सन्दर्शयामि रक्षां धारयामि। शोणाद्रीशावताराय ज्योतिस्तम्भस्वरूपिणे श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलं। तत्त्वज्ञानप्रदाताय नित्यानन्देश्वररूपिणे श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलं। मूलाकृतिरूपाय परमशिवशक्तिस्वरूपिणे श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलं। दण्डत्रिशूलहस्ताय कालकालस्वरूपिणे श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलम्। आदिपूज्याय देवाय सकृत्पूर्णत्वरूपिणे श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलम्। सर्वविनाशकाय शत्रुसंहाररूपिणे श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलम्। योगभट्टाभिषिक्ताय राजसन्न्यासधारिणे श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलम्। सार्वभौमैकपत्याय राजराजार्चिताय च श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलम्। मङ्गलं कल्पवृक्षाय मङ्गलं ज्ञानदायिने परमशिवाय श्रीनित्यानन्देश्वराय मङ्गलम्। मङ्गलं श्रीविद्याम्बायै मङ्गलं कामदायिन्ये सर्वमङ्गलधात्री नित्यानन्देश्वर्यै मङ्गलम्। मङ्गलं गुरुदेवाय मोक्षमूलाय मङ्गलं परमावताराय नित्यानन्दाय गुरवे मङ्गलं। त्वं स्मृतमहं धन्य मम प्राणमहेश्वर गङ्गाधरनामेति स्तोत्रस्थानं ददाम्यहं। हरिः ओं तत्सत्। सर्वं भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव पादुकार्पणमस्तु। ओम नित्यानंदम। Thank you for joining us on this morning Mandagabadi offering for the Meenakshi Sundareshwara and offering for the Sundareshwara Swami. Join us again today evening for the return of Meenakshi Sundareshwara in Kailasa, Madurai. Thank you for joining us. See you again soon. Nityanandam.
Nityananda Paramashivam. Om Nityananda Paramashivam. Nityananda Paramashivam. Om 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 Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda 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 Paramashivoham.
Welcome you all with my love and respects. Before entering into the sutras, I want all of you to just sit for a few seconds. Sit straight and just prepare yourself. Because this understanding about which I am going to talk gave me the courage to leave the home. Today's subject is Maya. Actually, many times, the young age I used to think I should leave the home, go around, live a sannyas life. Suddenly, one day, when I was reading one of the Shankara's work on this Maya, somehow the concept clicked. The word Maya cannot be translated into English. Thinking the lesser reality as the higher reality is what we call Maya. What you are seeing, you can't say this is illusion. No, this is not ultimate. Your understanding this is ultimate is illusion. The moment the click happened, I was ready not only to leave the house, decided to live like a Shankara. In the Vedic tradition, anybody wants to become enlightened has to leave their home. They have to become homeless. It is a basic condition for enlightenment. You can't be in your hometown. You have to start wandering, studying, because to enter into the ultimate truth, you need to have the courage to go behind wherever it leads. There is a beautiful sutra in Brahma Sutra, the first sutra of Brahma Sutra. It says, Atatu Brahma Jignasat. Let us inquire into the reality. It says, only a courageous person who is ready to go behind wherever truth leads can enter into this science. In those days, we had a beautiful system. When somebody becomes enlightened, he will go around and sit with all other scholars, pandits, learned people, and he will open up his understanding. The other person will open up his understanding. Whoever can take the other person to the deeper level of understanding will follow him. That's all. That is why exploring the truth into the deeper and deeper level has been made as a compulsory basic value for anybody who wants to explore the reality, explore into the truth. What we need to understand from this story, courage to go behind the truth, wherever it leads. Even they are ready to gamble with their life, but they are ready for truth. If you accept or start working on the reality, whatever you see can be Maya. It feels as if the ground on which you are standing is opening or giving way, is taken away. It needs courage. It may suddenly open a new door to you. You must be able to go into the door, only then you can see the next door. Because I am trying to reproduce the same understanding and experience which happened in me. Understand? When I understood that Maya, the concept of Maya, it gave me so much of joy and courage to do anything. I decided I will live like a Shankara. There is every possibility you will catch the glimpse. I am not telling you will run away from a home. You will have the same energy and excitement and liberation when you realize this truth. If this one concept Maya is understood logically by you, no suffering can make low curve in you. Nobody can exploit you easily. If you can just open that courage, this understanding can open new doors for you. If you understand this clearly, you will have the courage. If you have little courage, you will have understanding. It's like a circle. Who will start first?
I represent Kailasa nation led by Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, which speaks on behalf of 2 billion Hindus around the world who do not have a voice representing them in these international forums.
Alright, I'll start from my side first. I'll give the understanding. Let you add courage to it. Let's enter into the sutra. Illusions deceive, colors circumscribe, even divisibles are indivisible. Look becomes Shiva. Welcome you all with my love and respects. Before entering into the sutras, I want all of you to just sit for a few seconds. Sit straight and just prepare yourself. Because this understanding about which I am going to talk gave me the courage to leave the home. Today's subject is Maya. Actually, many times, the young age I used to think I should leave the home, go around, live a sannyas life. Suddenly, one day,